Matthew does not provide us with much information, and we do not learn about this occurrence from any other source. Number 3. The veil of the temple was torn in two. Matthew chapter 27, verses 50 to 51. And Jesus cried out again with a loud and agonizing voice, and voluntarily surrendered his spirit, sovereignly dismissing and releasing his spirit from his body in submission to his Father's plan. And at once the veil of the Holy of Holies in the temple was torn in two, from top to bottom. The earth shook, and the rocks split. The curtain that covered the temple was torn in two places. The curtain was the only thing in the temple that differentiated the sacred area from the most holy part of the temple. It was a very clear illustration of the separation between God and man. Acts chapter 6 verse 7 says that in the days of the early church, many of the priests were obedient to the faith. Perhaps this torn veil demonstrated to them the greatness of Jesus' work. It is also probably how the torn veil became common knowledge. Hebrews chapter 9 verses 1 to 9 tells us that in the temple, a veil separated the Holy of Holies, the earthly place of God's presence, from the rest of the temple where men dwelled. Hebrews chapter 9 verses 1 to 3, indeed the first covenant had regulations for divine worship and for the earthly sanctuary. A sacred tent was set up, the outer or first section, in which were the lampstand and the table with its consecrated bread. This is called the holy place. Behind the second veil was another tabernacle, the inner or second section known as the Holy of Holies. The book of Exodus teaches that this thick veil was made of blue, purple, scarlet material and twisted linen. Now Christ is our superior high priest, and as believers in his finished work, we partake in his superior priesthood. We can now enter the Holy of Holies through him. Hebrews chapter 10 verses 19 to 20 says, "We have confidence to enter the most holy place by the blood of Jesus, by a new and living way opened for us through the veil, that is, his body." As we look upon this scene, we see an image of Jesus' flesh being torn for us, just as he was tearing the veil for us. The book of Hebrews provides a gloriously detailed explanation of the profound meaning associated with the tearing of the veil. The veil that always hung in the temple served as a constant reminder that sin makes humans unworthy of being in God's presence. The fact that the sin offering was presented once a year, beyond the myriad of other sacrifices that were presented daily, was a blatant illustration of the reality that sin really could not be atoned for or eradicated by mere animal sacrifices. Because of what Jesus Christ did on the cross, the barriers that used to separate God and people were destroyed, and now we can approach God with confidence and boldness.